Good afternoon, investors and corporate. Welcome to SET Digital Roadshow 2021 Year-End Performance Review. This session will run about 45 minutes, including Q&A. Company will start the session by 30 minutes presentation, followed by 15 minutes Q&A. During Q&A, investor may leave your questions in the meeting room chat box or use your raise hand function. Then we will open your microphone so you can ask the question to the company directly. May I now invite BANPU Public Company Limited to start the presentation, please?
ขอบคุณค่ะ So good afternoon everyone. Thank you Stock Exchange of Thailand for hosting this regular event. It is always a pleasure for BANPU to have a chance to come and meet with all of you. So during this dynamic environment, in addition to the ongoing COVID-19, there is also Russian-Ukraine conflict ongoing, and that result in a very volatile commodity market, and the world economy remained very fragile. So BANPU will keep a close eye on such a situation and ensure that our portfolio remain resilient. So for today, we have prepared the update on our latest 2021 annual performance, in which the presentation we also uploaded to our website, so you can easily browsing through our company's website later. And we also can discuss more on some of the market movement, and definitely be prepared to entertain any questions you may have. So now let me begin with the key highlight on slide number 4, please. Okay, so let me begin with the key highlights of 2021. First, we made a very significant progress in accelerating BANPU greener and smarter transformation. We increased our power capacity by 841 megawatts through an investment in 2 major assets, which are Nagoso IGCC in Japan and also a Temple 1 gas-fired power in the US. We also add 320 megawatts of renewable portfolio by recently just acquire 3 new solar assets and 1 solar rooftop platform in Vietnam, and also achieve COD of 2 major solar farms in Japan. We expand our energy technology portfolio through an investment in e-mobility, EV charging infrastructure, and also Energy Services Thailand, and we rename it later to become BANPU Next EcoServe, which is an energy management company. And we also complete the divestment of our 48% shareholding in Sunseed, and we received the proceeds of around $347.5 million, and the proceeds will be recorded in the first quarter result this year, and we will use that fund to further grow our lower carbon, greener and smarter business. Secondly, we also continue to generate a very strong cash flow. 2021, we get an EBITDA of around $1.8 billion, which improved significantly from 2020. And the main driven factor was a strong commodity price from an increasing demand, but continuing the tight supply, and we remain our cost control strictly. Next slide, please. So our deep focus is still on sustainability, which reflected in our continuing ESG leadership and credit rating recognition. We have been in DJSI for 8 consecutive years and awarded a gold class by S&P Global Sustainability, and also a 3rd consecutive year for the SCI ESG rating. The ESG policy is also deployed to our subsidiaries, for example, like BPP, which has been in the THSI for 3 years already. And also our US gas business also received a gold rating of being a responsible source gas by a Project Canary. Now let me move to the summary of each business. Slide 8, please. So let me start with the first core business, which is the energy resources. Our gas business maintained a very strong base production with capacity of around 700 million cubic feet per day, and able to extend the gas asset reserve by 564 billion cubic feet with a well position for potential scale up. And we also accelerate our decarbonization efforts through emission reduction initiatives. While for our mining portfolio, the capacity right now is at 36 million tons from our coal mines in 3 main countries, which is Indonesia, Australia, and China. And we will continue to maximize our sustainability and profitability of our reserve through using of cleaner technology and also digital solutions. Next slide, please. Now let me continue to the energy generation. We have been growing our power portfolio for both thermal and renewable business with many developments and acquisitions shown here in the sequence on the right-hand side. We will continue to grow our portfolio through 3 strategic focuses. The first one is to optimize operational efficiency. Second is to continue consistent cash flow and earning. And also the third one is to expand into fast-growing market with our target to achieve 6.1 gigawatt capacity within 2025. Next slide, please. Now for our third pillar, which is energy technology, we have made significant investment to scale up our portfolio. Several activities and products to increase value creation from energy solutions is also shown here on the right-hand side of the slide. And we also continue to ramp up our digital transformation programs as well. We will continue to expand our future energy ecosystem platform to be able to capture the new energy trends. Slide 11, please. So looking ahead, we continue our greener and smarter transformation through our 3 core business segments. For mining, we will optimize production to maximize margin and cash flow and further implement cost control measures and also continue to explore growth in non-coal mining opportunities. For gas, we will continue to implement programs to capture upside during this gas price fly-up environment and probably pursue opportunities to getting more reserves of gas shale. For energy generation or power business, we will continue to maximize the efficiency of our assets and explore an opportunity to invest more in thermal assets using high efficiency, low emission technology and also diversify our renewable portfolio in a growing market. For energy tech, we will scale up our existing energy services as well as probably acquire and develop new energy related services, focusing on building up the competency and also integrated service into a seamless digital platform. Now let me move to the summary of our financial highlights. Next slide, please. So this slide showing our financial performance of last year that we have achieved the EBITDA for $1,778 million and the net profit of $304 million. The main achievement, as I mentioned earlier, was from the improvement in coal and gas operations that we achieved a higher ASP and also supported with the consistent performance from the power business as well. Now let me move to the business update section, starting from gas business. Please go to slide 19. For the US shale gas, it is pretty much a domestic market focus. Last year, you can see the average price was ranging around $4 to $5 per million cubic feet. The big jump to above $5 happened in the second half of the year when the inventory went below the average 5-year storage level. But the demand recovery is ongoing after in the US, the economic activities resume within the country. So the price stay at a high level and sensitive to the inventory and the production volume. However, when entering into 2022, we could see that the natural gas inventories in January, it's falling below a 5-year average again due to a colder than normal temperature. Next slide, please. In this slide, you can see that actually there were also the increase in capital spending on oil and gas rigs are expected to continue to increase. Domestically, we should see the supply and demand will gradually balancing as production sites come back online. So for the short-term view, in the first half of this year, with several uncertainties, including adverse weather conditions and the situation between Ukraine and Russia, the gas price is still highly fluctuated. But for the long term, I think we could see that it will remain in a high level and a very healthy level. Next slide, please. For our operation, last year we achieved an EBITDA of $508 million, and we continue to maintain a strong base production and produce at around 60 to 65 billion cubic feet per quarter, with an average cost to remain quite stable. One of the main achievements which we have put in here is that typically in the unconventional gas field, to maintain the stable production from previous year might sound normal to some of you, but in the US gas context, with the nature of being unconventional, the depletion rate can be very fast. So, however, with our restimulations program, we could demonstrate our efficient operations and also an ability to maintain base production. So let me move to the code section on slide 24, please. So continue from end of last year until now, seaborne thermal market has been extremely tight, mainly due to the supply disruption in major export country, coupled with sudden policy changes in China and also the export ban from Indonesia. So it's already ended since end of January. But all of these factors impacted to the global supply, as well as result in continue of the logistic bottleneck. So coal price reached the level that we have never seen or never expected before. During the past few years, also following with the decarbonization trend and movement away from coal to be more reliable on renewable energy, we could see a lot less capital spending in opening up new coal mine or boost up the production. And once there were external factors, especially weather, for example, like what's happening right now, a heavy rain in Indonesia or flooding in Australia, then the supply side could be easily disrupted. So we can anticipate the tight supply going onward while the demand started to recover after more relaxation on measures and control on the pandemic. Therefore, coal price would remain firm, driven by an ongoing demand, while supply tightness has been worsened, especially by the latest events in Indonesia and flooding in Australia. So any prolong of the meaningful rainfall in either Indonesia, Australia, and supply interruption out of Russia could easily cause a prolonging in high price. But for longer term, we could expect price trend to downward after, winter as international supply should begins to recover. So to talk about long-term price, most of the research we have seen so far predicted at around $200 per ton. Slide 25, please. So with the continue on good market, we continue our operational plan to be able to maximize the margin, execute of our cost saving strategy, especially for Indonesia, where we will be more flexible as it is an open pit mining. However, the challenge would be on the weather conditions, as we would expect a heavy rainfall to probably continue. For the impact from export ban in the first 2 weeks of January, much of this is expected to gradually catching up. For Centennial, our operation in Australia, in the fourth quarter, they were a longwall relocation, so we might see a slightly decline in production volume, and we still experience challenging geology conditions, but the situation is expected to gradually be improved. While for China, the production was very smooth, demand was strong, so we can enjoy quite a significant improvement in share profit contribution to our group. Then let me continue to the power section on slide 30, please. For this slide, you can see that our overview where we are across different geography. So right now we have total of 4.1 gigawatt of committed capacity, and around 90% out of this capacity is already in operation, and the rest is under construction, which we expect to be developed as planned. We're also looking for more to secure up to 6.1 gigawatt as our target in 2025. There are two main areas we really focus on. The first one is operational strategy. We want to ensure that the plant is efficient and produce electricity with reliability to deliver strong availability factors and continue to generate a strong cash flow. Second is on our growth strategy. as during the year, we managed to successfully secure more operating megawatt from a greener technology. We have invested in Nagoso IGCC, which is one of the largest commercial plant that operate in Japan. And then in June, we acquired 2 large operating solar farm in Australia. And then in August, with the Temple 1 gas-fired power in the US. And just recently, another 3 new solar farms in Vietnam for a total of 100 megawatt. So let's move to slide 32, please. Let's move to 32. Yeah, so this slide shows our latest annual performance where all of our assets can generate electricity smoothly and reported a strong availability. The only challenge now is on our CHP business in China that was impacted from a high coal cost, but we actively managed to minimize such impact by implement the centralized coal procurement, management of the inventory, and also the plant optimization plan to manage a stable schedule maintenance, aiming to ensure that the plant is ready to serve the recovery of the demand. Moreover, for this year, we could see the growth would be from our recently acquired assets, which will gradually generate earnings to the power business. So let's move to slide 34. For renewable portfolio, right now we secure up to nearly 900 megawatt. And this slide showing the annual operational performance in which we have a solar farm in Japan, China, and Australia with a stable performance and also contribute consistent earning. For the expansion in renewable project, we are very active in Vietnam right now. We have both wind and solar in our portfolio with a long-term PPA in place and under the feed-in tariff scheme with a fixed tariff for 20 years. And we will gradually recognize such performance starting this year onward. And also Vietnam Wind and our developing project, Receipt Wind Shell project, should be COD by the end of this quarter. Let me continue with the energy technology section on slide 36. For energy technology, we aim to develop the products and services to serve the changing pattern of energy consumptions, combining the digital transformation, the decentralization of electric system, and support the trend of decarbonization. So under the roof of Energy Tech, we have solar rooftop and floating in total of 99 megawatt. This number, you might see it's reduced from last quarter. That's because it's already reflect the divestment of Sunsea portfolio. Then we have another 1 gigawatt hour of battery capacity through our 48% shareholding in Dura Power, and we aim to increase it up to 3.0 gigawatt hour by 2025. The e-mobility business in the middle section have been expanded and covered by a range of areas. Then we have provided service to develop a smart city solution, also covering like a large area of sophisticated energy consumption pattern of each users. Right now we have around 20 projects on hand and we aim to increase it to 30 projects. And the last one is energy trading business in which we have started in Japan that has a very mature platform, and we target to build up the scale and utilize the know-how into other potential markets in the future. Next slide, please. So this slide is an updated activities showing the progress of each product, like solar roof, where we have a solar floating that reached 95% construction progress, and we expect to complete the COD by the first half of this year. We have installed the all-in-one microgrid system for Malik Resort in Lipei Island, allowing it to utilize 100% clean energy to reduce energy costs with lower pollution and also improve its business sustainability. We have also keep expanding our EV and e-mobility platform by scaling up the tuk-tuk fleet operation from 165 to 1,000 units. So now BANPU next shareholding in UMT, which produce of this tuk-tuk or three-wheelers is 39.3%, and we will also expand the routing to be a wider coverage and serve the need for wider group of customers, focusing in a growing area and hope that after more relaxation of the COVID-19 measures, the demand will then be recovered. Slide 38, please. So for this slide, this is a new business under a solar rooftop platform that we recently invest around $14.5 million, which we get 49% shareholding in Solar Esco, which is a leading solar rooftop platform with decades of experience in developing, constructing, and providing EPC and O&M service for both commercial and industrial customers in Vietnam. So that current portfolio is having around 7 megawatt of operating capacity. 4 megawatt is under construction and around 106 megawatt in the pipeline. So they have a long-term corporate PPA with large commercial and industrial customers. And we expect that the transaction completion should be by the next quarter. This investment will also leveraging BANPU Next energy storage system, energy management, and e-mobility capabilities combined with Solar Esco know-how, so we could capture more opportunities in Vietnam, such as solar panel installations, community scale microgrid system, or even a smart home integration. Let me continue to the next slide. So this is the last slide for today. So I would end my presentation with this one, showing our BANPU greener and smarter ecosystem that integrate all the products and services we have right now with the smart mobile applications to serve all the need, and also reflect how synergy it can be among each platform by applying the digitalization across all of our business. So that would be all of my presentation to recap our 2021 annual performance. So let me move to the Q&A section. So you can type in the chat box, or I'll hand over this floor to Stock Exchange of Thailand.
I think the session has come to an end. On behalf of the Stock Exchange of Thailand, we would like to thank you much, investor and BANPU Public Company Limited, for joining the conference. We hope to welcome you all again in the next quarter. Thank you very much.
Thank you.